Do ketones help me lose weight? That's a really good question, and we're going to kind of dive into that a little bit today and try and answer that question in this video.
All right, so there are three types of ketones that your body can make. Acetone, we breathe that one out. Acetoacetate, we pee that one out. And then there's a third one. You want to take it from there?
I will.
Yeah.
It's called beta-hydroxybutyrate, and I was down in my office over the weekend and looking through some of my old college chemistry stuff, and I came upon my kit for making chemistry models.
Right,
so
and
my
I would
first thought,
just like to add that he was able to find that because he never, ever throws anything away. Go ahead.
see? My first thought was, hey, I can make some beta-hydroxybutyrate with this model. So that's what I did. So this is the black balls here represent carbon. It's a 4-carbon molecule of butyrate, which is a short chain fatty acid. And we actually make butyrate in our guts. It's very important to the health of our gut lining. So this is the way this works. So this is the alpha carbon, the beta carbon. When we talk about the name of this molecule, beta-hydroxybutyrate. So this is the beta carbon. There's a hydroxyl molecule on here, which is an oxygen and hydrogen. So this is beta-hydroxybutyrate. And this is the carboxyl group at the end of it, which makes it the butyrate. But this is the main ketone that is in our circulation that our cells are going to use for energy, our brain's going to use. And this beta oxidation happens in the liver from fat.
Okay. So, does this ketone cause you to lose weight?
So here's the process, right? So when your body is typically running on glucose, I mean, our bodies are kind of built to run very easily on glucose. It doesn't take a lot of energy to get that glucose in the cells and make energy. It definitely takes more energy to get other things in there, such as amino acids, and then it's even much harder to get fat in there. Fat has a lot of energy stored up, so it's a really good storehouse of energy. But it's kind of resistant to coming out and being burned. And especially if you are eating a high carbohydrate diet, your insulin levels are going to be high, and your body does not liberate that fat to be burned.
Right. Yeah, so the body has different fuels that it can run on. So it runs on glucose, which is carbohydrates coming in through your diet. It can run on stored glucose, which is called glycogen. It can run on dietary fat, so that we take in through our diet. And it can run on stored fat, which are free fatty acids or fatty acids inside of our adipose or fat tissue. But it can also run on ketones.
Yep.
Right. So
it runs very well on ketones. And you mentioned dietary fat. So here's the thing. When you first decide you're going to go on a ketogenic diet, you'll read a lot of things and it'll say, look, you have to have, high dietary fat intake, low carbs, and moderate protein, right? And a lot of people kind of ask that question, well, if I want to burn my own fat, why am I eating so much fat? Isn't that counterproductive? So here's the thing. It is a really heavily enzymatically driven process to pull fat from fat stores and then to utilize it for energy and turn some of it into ketones. So you have to kind of get that machinery and those processes kind of geared up, and that doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen. Sometimes it takes weeks for that to really happen where it's a little bit more efficient. So if you don't give your body that dietary fat, that readily available fat, then it can kind of start ramping up that machinery, and it can't get it from the fat stores. There's a good probability that you're going to be losing some lean mass because it's going to be easier actually for your body to break down muscle tissue and use amino acids as a substrate, to make glucose for your body.
Yeah, it is a hard lesson for us to learn because we come from the low fat days. And so one of the important things of getting your body primed up, like you said, so that it can pull and burn fat efficiently so that there's the raw material for the making of ketones in your liver, is to feed yourself fat at least at the beginning, right?
Right. And after you get, what they call keto adapted, which, it could take months. It really could. Then you can start kind of cutting back a little bit on your fat intake, from your diet, so that you're kind of, diving into those fat stores. And in fact, Jeff Folek, Stephen Finney have a kind of they've talked about this in their books about kind of having a portion of your caloric needs come from stored body fat. It's not always quite that simple, but you know, it does work over a period of time.
Well, and the thing is that ketones do come directly from fat. So if ketones are there is fat being broken down. Now I'm thinking though, so this brings us into maybe we should discuss exogenous ketones.
Right.
Because so if we're trying to answer this question, you know, do ketones help me lose weight? Well, we have a caveat with exogenous ketones.
Right. So exogenous ketones actually, I think, came about primarily from Dom D'Agostino's work with the Defense Department.
Yeah, it might have been.
Working with Navy SEALs, Navy divers who are in, you know, hypoxic situations. They found out that if they had ketones in their system, they could function much better in those you know, kind of situations. So there are companies, you can buy exogenous ketones. You can drink them, whatever you do. I guess you drink them. I don't know if you've ever, I haven't seen anything you eat, but maybe there is. And they will result in ketones being in your circulation.
Right.
But here's the thing, your body's not in a state of ketosis.
Right.
Just because you have ketones from what you've taken in, your body's not making those ketones. It's not burning any fat. It's not doing any of that process. So exogenous ketones, for some things, I think they've got really interesting applications. You know, for losing weight, I don't see it.
Right, because you're missing you're cheating the system a little bit, and you can drink ketones and then prick your finger and you will see ketones, but that doesn't mean that your liver took free fatty acids and turned them into ketones.
Right.
So, and that's what you want if your goal is to lose weight.
Right. So the big question, do ketones help me lose weight? I'm going to say no.
Okay, I'll say no with the caveat of exogenous ketones. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, I'm going to say no. You know, ketones themselves are not going to help me lose weight, but the process of making ketones and getting into ketosis is definitely going to make me a better fat burner, and that will make me lose weight over time.
I concur.
Okay.
All right. Hey, I hope that helps clear up some questions for you. And
hey, before we go, a new magazine, online magazine has come out called Keto Time.
Yeah.
Really, really well written.
Yeah.
We've been asked to collaborate a little bit with the kind of the launch of this magazine, and Keith Katikis, who is the editor-publisher of this magazine, his wife, funnily enough, his name is Becky, so it's Keith and Becky. Yeah. But they have offered a discount for our people if you want to check this out, subscribe to it. The initial issue I thought was really fantastic. Excellent. It's got recipes, articles, interviews, all kinds of things. They've, we're in there a little bit, but it's
yeah, if you want to check that out, and we really encourage you to. I mean, we're happy to have our name associated with this.
Yes.
Just go to Keto Time, and time is spelled with a Y, so it's KETOTYME. I guess we're going to show that one.
Yeah, we can just put it on the screen.
But then, if you want to subscribe to it, use the discount coupon code 2FitDocs. All one word, just 2FitDocs.
Number 2.
Yeah, we'll throw it on the screen. So, but check that out. Hey, thanks so much. Am I done now?
We're done.
All right. Please subscribe, hit the bell icon. We will be back in our next video, and looking forward to it. See ya.